So it looks like Aubrey O'Day does not plan on getting off Diddy's neck anytime soon, because she just exposed him for being behind the death of Kim Porter. This came shortly after Aubrey's ex-boyfriend, Donald Trump Jr., alluded to Diddy being responsible for Kim's death. Rumors of Diddy unaliving Kim have been going around for a long time, but this is the first that somebody is coming through with receipts to prove it. It's even speculated that Diddy took Kim out because he found out she was writing a tell-all book about him. There have also been questions about the validity of Kim's autopsy report, and people even going as far as accusing Diddy of paying a huge sum of money for Kim's autopsy to be tampered with. Aubrey is actually one of the people that Diddy has ripped off, and she's been very vocal about her dislike for him. Aubrey has spent the last few years exposing Diddy, and it looks like she finally has what it takes to put him behind bars once and for all. Now, as most of y'all already know, Kim Porter's name has been coming up a lot since Diddy got exposed for being a terrible person. People even believe he had something to do with her death, and they're demanding for police to reopen Kim's case and investigate everything all over again. See, at the time of Kim's death, there was a lot of inconsistencies in the investigation that made people believe the entire thing was tampered with. For example, the coroner who was in charge of investigating Kim's death, Ed Winter, initially ruled her death a homicide after finding toxins in Kim's body. But before he could finalize the investigation, he was thrown off the case and replaced by another coroner. This new coroner was hella shady right from the jump, because it took him over 2 weeks to confirm that Kim died from pneumonia, which is quite long because it definitely doesn't take that long to confirm that somebody died from pneumonia.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And
oh, but it doesn't end there. When the autopsy reports came out, there were questions about the manner in which Kim died. According to sources, the reports about Kim being found unresponsive by the house help was just a lie made up by Diddy. She was actually found on her bed with blood on her pillowcases and a slight trail of blood on the bedroom floor that led to the bathroom. She was also strategically placed on the bed to mess with the police investigation. A lot of people at the time believed that the reason why Diddy unalived her is because she was writing a tell-all book about him. And it looks like we finally have the confirmation as to whether Diddy was responsible for Kim's death or not, because Aubrey just came through with all the evidence and she didn't hold anything back. Now, for those of y'all who don't know Aubrey, she was a part of the popular girl group Danity Kane, the group that was put together by Diddy for his label Bad Boy Entertainment. But they ended their working relationship with Diddy after finding out that Diddy was taking advantage of them.
I'm done with all of that.
No. Like, what do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair, though.
I don't like big hair.
You like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've. I'm not worried about whether my hair is straight, curly, whatever. I'm not here in a group to have curly, straight, big, makeup, whatever. I'm here in a group to sing with my group, and that is all I care about. For real, like, maybe you just don't get me.
Aubrey revealed not too long ago that Diddy would try to hook up with them behind the scenes, and that he would psychologically mistreat them when they rejected his advances. As if that wasn't bad enough, he made them all sign NDAs, so they wouldn't be able to say anything about the things he was doing to them. In fact, these rumors came up again a few months ago when Diddy decided to give back the publishing rights that he stole from his artists, after keeping it to himself and cashing in on all their royalties for the past 30 years. But it was later revealed that he made all of them who wanted their publishing back to sign an NDA, promising to never speak about what happened during their days at Bad Boy. What's even shadier about this was that just a few weeks before Cassie slapped him with her lawsuit, he knew the lawsuit was coming, and he was basically trying to do damage control. But see, not all of them signed them NDAs, and that included Aubrey. She said she knew something was about to go down because of how hard Diddy was pushing for his artists to sign the NDA, and she warned the rest of the girls not to take that deal.
I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently for this thing.
I got it a few months ago when he started doing this. In the news now. So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing on songs that we wrote at a time when you know that you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hundreds of dollars. And me, as somebody that's a girl's girl, I hit everyone in my group and said, absolutely do not take this deal. I can get us a show on Hulu right now.
This was later confirmed by Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, who said that Danity Kane were actually the only ones who didn't sign that NDA.
Did Diddy make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Cone, Justin Cone, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danity Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too.
Aubrey also revealed that Diddy would intentionally pit them against each other to cause diversiveness in the group so that he could have more control.
The stories that we have to tell during a time in music where there were gatekeepers, there were people that owned labels like Puff running things, and the way that the divisions and the divisiveness occurred and the things that we experienced between each other and us against the system are insane.
And this ain't the first time that Aubrey has talked about how Diddy used to mistreat them. In fact, during her interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she talked about how Diddy used to body shame them and exposed him for kicking her out of the group after she refused to get with him.
Thing you could imagine why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions. Torture, and not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, like just all the girls were so divided, and the men and the people running it had their hands in it, moving everything. There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of lies. There was a lot of, and that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that. Diddy would be like, you're not hot anymore. Like, what happened? You don't have anything, like, you don't have any curves. You're looking like you're not looking like, I can't get people to think that you're my good looking person.
And it looks like Aubrey ain't done yet, because she just publicly threatened to release major evidence that could land Diddy in jail. So recently, Aubrey's ex-boyfriend Donald Trump Jr. appeared in an interview with DJ Academics, and he revealed that Kim did not die from pneumonia like what we've all been made to believe. Donald said his ex-wife, Vanessa K. Trump, confided in him at the time of Kim's death and told him that she suspected that Diddy may have unalived Kim. According to Donald, Vanessa and Kim were very close at the time, and Kim had told Vanessa a few times that she was scared of Diddy.
I used to get invited to the cool person parties. I was there.
Did you ever
right?
hear anything?
Not those parts. So not me directly, but it's my ex-wife actually she was a model in New York, and like she was really good friends with Kim Porter, who was Diddy's wife, the one who died at 47 from pneumonia, and it was like,
that's
and
what they
when
said.
that happened, she called me, and this was a couple years ago now, maybe not even, a couple years ago, and she called me like, something's up with that. I go, what do you mean? She's like, oh, dude, Kim used to tell me like. It was a bad, like, there's a lot of weird shit that I didn't even know that, like, but they were like, you know, they'd do photo shoots together or whatever. They were sort of friendly. Like they'd hang out. Like we'd see them out downtown, and like I'd hang out with her. Not so much with Diddy. I think it was already sort of over there, but like she was really afraid of him. And it
really,
yeah, like this goes back years, and so like, and she was having these conversations with my ex. I was like I don't know what like.
A lot of people believe that whatever happened there happened with the woman afterwards, which was Cassie, and it's supposedly.
No, like I said, like I didn't. You sort of don't think about these things until now. You go back and you're like, holy crap! Like I distinctly remember when Vanessa was like calls me, and was like, hey man, Kim Porter died. I go, what? Like we saw her like a couple of weeks, whatever it was, you know, and she goes. Yeah, man, she was sort of always in fear of something happening. And I was like, you know, maybe it's natural, but like, not a lot of people die at 47 of pneumonia. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, wow. Especially people who, you know, obviously.
There's a ton of rumors.
Again, and I'm actually not trying to fuel any kind of rumor, but I definitely, like, that's a conversation I had. Like, you know, someone who knew her well, you know, was like friend, like they text, like, was like, something. She was like, something, she's like, something. She did not believe that was just.
This interview was a major shock to people because nobody expected for Donald Trump Jr. to come out and suggest something like this. But this was just the beginning of something even crazier because just hours after this interview was posted, Aubrey stepped into the chat agreeing to everything Donald said. Not only that, but she had concrete evidence to confirm that Diddy unalived Kim Porter and that she's currently working on a documentary to expose it all. She said, just to be clear, my long-term ex, Donald Trump Jr., went on academics to discuss my ex-boss Diddy and all the conspiracies behind Kim Porter's death. I keep telling you all, I am in the center of really knowing all the information and always have been. I'm about to Aubrey O'Day the ish out of everyone playing games right now. Y'all think this Kendrick and Drake ish is cute? Just wait, because the expose hasn't even started. At this point, it's still unclear what exactly Aubrey knows about Kim's suspicious past. But the fact that she's confident enough to come on the internet and announce it shows that whatever she knows can potentially be what the police need to officially throw Diddy in jail. As usual, people have their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, you don't just die of pneumonia at home unless you're already dying of other serious conditions and on home hospice. If Kim had pneumonia that was progressing to the point where she could die from it, she would have had symptoms that would have absolutely required her to present to an ER/hospital for treatment. Diddy is gross in the worst ways. I've always sensed this since the beginning, since he started inserting himself on other people's tracks with his non-rapping. Since he first debuted his evil little eyes. Another person said, if Aubrey had any information, a person in their right mind would go to the police and not to social media for attention. Aubrey is washed and no one is checking for her. She does this every year and says nothing. She was fired in 2008, Kim passed in 2018. What possibly could you know that's current unless it's hearsay by Donald Trump Jr. pillow talking about what the wife has told him? She's one attention-seeking individual. The lies she told about Pauly D showed that she would do anything for attention. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Aubrey suggesting that Diddy unalived Kim? And do y'all think Kim's case should be reopened and investigated again? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.